Hello everyone, today I'm going to be making a video on how to pass any tryout, and before we start I just want to say I have a shit ton of years of experience in both the clanning, military and other Roblox genres, and I'm obviously not proud of saying that, but I do not regret it either. I have had tremendous amount of fun in these genres, and they have even helped me develop leadership, teamwork skills, and it basically made me a fluent English speaker. Because if you don't know, my main language is Spanish, and I learned English through both school and all these years I spent around these communities. So let's go ahead and get started with the video. First of all, we have to make a distinction between the clanning and the military tryouts because these are two very different, and today I'll be talking about both. So do not worry. Alright, so this video will be divided in what I believe are the most important abilities to work on for a tryout. Alright, so first of all, we have to go to the basics. And the basics are that you have to be over 13 years of age, mainly because of the Discord TOS. Don't have a safe chat because that is a huge red flag for childs. You must have a microphone and you must be able to use it. This doesn't apply. The last thing I said about the microphone, it doesn't really apply to all the childs, but most of them do really care about you having a mic. So yeah. Alright, second point. It is very common in military childs. You must know your faces or turns. If the group is American based, such as USM, then you should only listen to face commands. They are basic. It's pretty much direction, face. If it's a British group, it would be direction, turn. I'm gonna be explaining this in a second. Okay, so the most basic thing you have to know about faces and turns is that you do your faces and turns depending on the current position you're standing. Okay, so here's the first command. We have a basic right face, which is a 90-degree turn to my right. Then we have a left face, which is same but to the left. Okay, so here we have another left face, so I just simply turn 90 degrees to my left. We have a basic right incline, which is 45 degrees to my right, which is half of what an actual face is. Okay, so here we have about turn, which is basically 180-degree turn. You just basically have to turn the opposite side you're facing. In this case, we have double comma. And yeah, as you can see, he tried to trick me again by using a command that is not valid. He said center face, which is the British way of saying center face. This is an American group, so I can only listen to center face command. Alright, so here we have it. This is valid center face. We just have to basically look at where the host is standing. Next one is control eyes or control face. Both are valid. All you have to do is follow the host. If he goes inside of you, you have to spin. And that's pretty much it. If he does another command where you are doing control eyes or face, it is not valid. The only command you can listen to when you are in control eyes is center face. And just remember that you have to look at where the host is standing for center face. Now he's gonna go back and he's gonna do it again, so I have to just look that way if he does it again. Alright, the third point I have to tell you guys is that although this might sound weird to you if you've never been around the military genre, yes, you do need a decent typing speed because you will often be tested by doing jumping, hell, or gamma jacks. You don't need an incredibly fast typing speed, but I would say that a typing speed above 60 words per minute will get you past in absolutely any trial. If you don't know how to check your typing speed, I recommend you do a little test on TypeRacer. You can also practice on there. It's really not that hard to get a 60 plus word per minute in that game. Alright, fourth point, you need decent combat skill. Although this obviously depends on why you're joining, you're going to need decent combat skill, or at least know the basics of both FPS and TPS combat, which I will be explaining very swiftly without going in depth. Alright, so if you want to be decent at combat, first point, you have to be aware of your surroundings. This is the most important thing people should know. You should constantly be zooming out in both FPS and TPS games. This gives you a giant advantage over an enemy who doesn't do this. The second point for being decent in combat is that you have to set a default DPI and window sensitivity for TPS or FPS games combat. If you're new to Roblox combat or really just want to get good at any game, then stick to one default sensitivity and then you stick to it for the rest of your life. Third point for combat is that you do not have to rely on aim trainers for improvement. Aim trainers are obviously good for practicing your aim, but training with actual people is better because it gives you what an aim trainer can't. It gives you real scenarios, You have to watch out not to be shot while you're shooting. You have to be consistently scanning an area. You have to communicate. And yeah, it's much better to train with real people. I'm not saying you shouldn't aim train, I'm just saying do both. Fifth point is that being a good leader will give you an advantage, especially on clanning tryouts. If you want to step up to lead and you do a good job at it, you're most likely gonna get into whatever you want. One thing clanning values is good leaders, and word gets around fast about who's a good leader and who's a bad leader. Now, you cannot lead on the map without knowing it. If you want to lead a map, you must understand it, and you should have the voice to send people here or there. Sixth and the final point is you have to be smart. Many military tryouts include a quiz that is based off from questions from a document. Know how to use Google Documents and know how to investigate about a topic or answer that you are missing. I wish this would be the end of the video. And by the way, the document in the video is from a dead group, so it doesn't really matter. The group is dead. This is hella out of date. This document is like from 2018. So yeah, goodbye.